Can you imagine that? Just take a good look at this. Just imagine this. This house is nothing but a dream come true. There's nothing you can say, there for this house. Everything you can imagine is in this building. Yes. It's nothing but a heaven on earth. In fact, his dreams, he put it to work in this building. There is a clinic, football court, gym house, cinema, everything they here. Just and this house was commissioned, opened on December 2023. Little did he know that less than 2 months he will kiss the earth goodbye. You see, no one knows tomorrow. No one. You and I don't know tomorrow. Tomorrow is pregnant. We don't know what tomorrow brings. The greatest gift we can give to ourselves is to impact other life in a positive way. Not buying cars, not buying houses. Is to create opportunities for others. To smile is very necessary. Because all these things, we're gonna leave it behind. The houses, the cars, the structures, everything will leave everything behind when the time is right. But the impact we created, the people we helped, and all the lives we're able to help with our money, they no go forget us. They are our greatest legacy, not the building. Just imagine all these things. If this man knows, say, by February 2024, he go say goodbye to all these things, he would have started on time to amend his life. I don't think he will board that helicopter. No, he no go enter that. We don't know what tomorrow brings, because tomorrow is mysterious. Tomorrow is pregnant. He didn't just go. He went with his wife and child. The worst way to kiss the earth goodbye. Amend your ways. May his soul and the soul of his wife and child rest in the bosom of the Lord. Amen. With that being said,
yes, my people, as the halt, it don't happen. No, a private investigator has finally investigated this Access Bank CEO Herbert Wigwe helicopter crash, and waiting the fine for this video will shock you. Please, as you are watching this video, kindly hit this like button, share this video, and untimely death will never be your portion. Type amen in the comment section.
Herbert Wigwe, his wife and son, together with a close family friend in the person of Abimbola Ogunbanjo, chartered an aircraft and were headed to watch the Super Bowl live in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, this helicopter crashed in a desert located in Southern California, USA. As the saying goes, there is no smoke without fire, and that is why here at Greenlight Africa, we conducted a quick investigation to unravel the mysteries surrounding this crash. First thing first, in order to understand why and how this aircraft crashed somewhere in a desert in Southern California, we had to investigate and get the model number of this particular helicopter. Eurocopter EC-13B4 is the aircraft model, and it will surprise you to know that from 1975 till this present day, this particular aircraft model, the same one used by Herbert Wigwe, have crashed over 100 times. And interestingly, just last year, this particular Eurocopter EC-130B4 crashed 5 different times in 2023. Based out of common sense and simple logic, it simply means that there is something wrong with this particular model of helicopters. Anyway, moving on swiftly, while carrying out our investigation, we also looked at the flight parts of this particular aircraft. Showing right now on your screen is the exact and the precise flight parts. As you can see, this particular helicopter took off from Camarillo and also flew down to Burbank for a quick stop and continued its journey straight to Palm Springs International Airport before taking off to Las Vegas, and unfortunately, it crashed in Halloran Springs. Well, this is very, very unfortunate and tragic. At the moment, investigators said it's going to take them 1 to 2 years to conduct a proper research and investigation to know what really caused this air crash. But there's something very interesting that we all need to know about this Eurocopter EC-130B4. This aircraft don't have a voice nor flight data recorder installed on the aircraft, which is very, very surprising. Well, for an aircraft that have recorded over 100 unfortunate incidents from 1975 down to 2024, it's a no-brainer to have this voice and flight recorder pre-installed already before any takeoff. Well, the authorities came out to say that this particular helicopter don't need a voice recorder and a flight data recorder installed. So what really caused this helicopter crash? Anyways, based on the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB, they claim that the weather conditions actually caused the helicopter to crash somewhere in Southern California, because eyewitnesses reported that rain and wintry mix were found at the crash location. Well, to correlate this info, we heard something very, very similar from Wanfalaye Olushola, a man who was supposed to travel with Herbert Wigwe in that same helicopter. Olushola changed his mind about traveling by air to Las Vegas to watch the Super Bowl live in person. He stated that the weather condition at that point in time, the night that they were supposed to travel, wasn't conducive for him, so he opted to travel by road instead of using the helicopter, which crashed somewhere in Southern California. Well, this same man chose to travel by road instead of traveling by air based on weather concerns. So if a man who has little or no info about aviation system could detect that the weather conditions wasn't conducive for an helicopter to take off and land in its destination, so why was this helicopter cleared for takeoff in the first place? Well, nobody knows, but on the 29th of January this year, Herbert Wigwe, through his Twitter handle, stated something very interesting that we all need to look at. He stated, "Success is meaningless word without failure. I have failed many times, but in every wrong turn, every misstep, there are important lessons. Embrace them." These are the words of Herbert Wigwe, and it clearly shows that yes, anybody can make mistakes, we can all make errors, but it's very, very important to learn from our mistakes and seek success. And that is why the whole wide world wants Airbus, the manufacturers of this particular aircraft, to look into their helicopters because of the number of deaths recorded so far. Well, following this incident, it is now required and it's now mandatory for all helicopters' fuel tanks to be shielded from fuel tank rupture on impact. This is a very, very good one, because this will definitely, one way or the other, reduce the possibilities of an explosion after any crash in the future. This is a good one, and kudos to the authorities for implementing this quick and precise change of helicopter designs. Well, moving on swiftly, for those who are seeking quick and urgent response and info on why this helicopter crash, it feels like you won't be getting that information anytime soon, because it's going to take investigators about 1 to 2 years to execute and carry out a proper research to understand all of the data, to look into the parts found and some of the basic components at the crash site. It's going to take them a long period of time to properly get full analysis and get full info why this particular helicopter crashed. But in the meantime, the government should also look at other helicopters from the same manufacturers, from this Airbus. They have to look into all of the components to be sure that this particular incident won't repeat itself again in the future because of the numbers of deaths recorded under this exact model of helicopter. Moving on swiftly and talking about the president of Nigeria, the president in the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu recently traveled back into the country after spending more than 2 weeks in France, Paris to be precise. The president left the country on a private trip without giving Nigerians and the whole wide world the reasons why he wants to embark on a trip which is seen as unconstitutional. In one of our videos, we explained the reasons and we exposed a lot of data and information why the president chose to leave the country and the reasons behind his sudden departure. Anyways, if you want to watch that video and get full clarity, we have that video linked in the comment section. So go down to the comment section and you will find a link to this particular video. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to miss out in the info and data shared in that video. So check the comment section and click on the link and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Olushola Fale. Permit me, I cannot stand here and call my boss by name. So I will refer to him as Dr. Herbert, or probably Doctor. Forgive me. Thank you. So, yes. 2019, or at the late part of 2018, it was a time for Access Bank to acquire Diamond Bank. Everybody was thrown into turmoil with a mind of uncertainty of what next. You know what plays out when an institution acquires the other. So the fate of the staff of the acquired institution becomes shaky. What a December. Everybody was worried. I was more worried because I didn't know what next. January, it was a Wednesday, and in the midst of my worry, I had a prayer group that we pray every night, interestingly, binding and casting that this measure is not going to work. And on Wednesday, that fateful day, my phone rang. And I heard, Dr. Herbert wants to see you. I was like, how? From where? And I had to go to Uzama's office, and I met him. And he called me my name. How are you, Shola? I would like you to start working with me. So I stood, wondering, where is this coming from? I was looking at Uzama's face like, I hope I'm not betraying you if I say yes. And the next thing, he just signaled me that, don't worry, we'll talk about it. And he asked me, when do you want to start? I said, okay, he said, report in my office at 6 p.m. So I went that day, and we closed at 12 midnight. It was a baptism of what is to come for me. And that was the beginning of a new life. And I came to realize that one of his strengths, Dr. Herbert, is that he comes to you in a time of storm and he rescues you. I can remember vividly my first trip to London. How do you describe a trip that everything you imagine in a movie became a reality. I saw myself landed in Luton Airport, and immigration came in to stamp our passports. And a vehicle was waiting. I've never seen that in my life before. Only in a movie. And we came down. I was like, is that it? Guess where we're going? He had a dinner with Theresa May that day. How else do you describe a grand entry? It is only one person that can make that happen. And so it was the beginning of our journey. One thing I've always learned in life is I am always committed to what I do. And I think he saw that, and he feels you need to buckle up and grow. Then COVID came. During COVID, when lockdown was to be announced that evening, I was looking at him and I was worried. I'm like, I cannot leave him at this kind of moment because my boss knows everything, but he struggles with technology. So I walked up to him and I said, sir, I will move into Parkview with you. He said, how about your wife? I said, I will talk to her. Auntie Doreen was in London then. And that night that lockdown was announced, I moved into Parkview. So we were always together. I don't go home. He doesn't go to anywhere to, except when COVID started and sometimes we go to the office. But I make sure that we are always together. I make sure he has no problem whatsoever joining his meeting. And one night, around 3 a.m., I think Uchi was around then, and he said, Shola, tell me, whatever education, wherever in the world you want to have it, I will let you have it. I remember he enrolled in University of London for his law degree. I enrolled in same university for my master's in information technology. And we went through this journey together. We would go to Mabea and read together. I just noticed that suddenly I became a son of the family. Tochi will always come to me for advice. Chizzy cannot go to him without coming through me. And Sweet Mommy, like I call Auntie Doreen, I had to mention this because I remember one day in Cape Town, I called Grandma, that's her mom, that name, and she took offense that that's for me. So I refer to her as Sweet Mommy because she's ever sweet. And that's the man, just one man, God threw into this generation. And I don't think anytime soon we'll have such a man. One early morning in Dusseldorf, we were in Germany, and he called me to get him a power bank. I went to his room around 4 a.m. So he was seated on the headboard of the bed. Usually when we travel, he gives me one of his keys. So I just knocked and opened the door. I went in, and what I saw that morning scared me. So I saw his eyeball so dim, not like an ordinary human. And I gave him the charger. I went back. In the afternoon, I asked him, I said, sir, I was afraid when I saw you that morning. He said, those are the times he reflects on what to do. He is a great man He lives. So that is why I pick most of those songs, because I still see him. He lives. He's just everywhere living, because his dream is scattered everywhere, germinating and growing. Now to our journey, our last journey. 5 of us embarked on that journey. I remember Mr. Bimbo chatted me and said he wants to come with us. It was a Tuesday. And I told him, my boss' journey is not always straightforward. Sometimes you can get in the air and divert somewhere else. And he said he was going to wait. I said he was still going to Abuja that day, and maybe we'll be leaving later in the midnight, and he said he was going to wait. I still try to let him understand that we will be in London Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. He said he will stay in his house and wait. I really don't know why I was trying to convince him not. I don't know, And we all went on the journey. We got to London. I remember on Friday, after my boss's board meeting in Access UK, he already told me to call Tiny, one of his business partners, to come from Lisbon to have a meeting. He had that meeting. He wasn't satisfied. He said, ride with me. When Dr. Herbert tells you ride with me, it is all meeting. So they rode from Access UK to the house because we needed to park. We parked, and we're all rushing to go to the airport. We got to the airport in Luton and boarded. It was a sweet journey. It was a sweet journey. 11 hours. We flew from London to Palm Springs. I remember in the middle of the air, I walked up to him. I said, sir, how comfortable are you flying chopper at night? I've never done it before. And he said a word. He said, this is America. They have navigation system for flying chopper at night. And I went back to my seat. And we landed. Everybody was filled with joy that we're finally almost there. Sat, waited to be cleared by immigration, and we came out. So coming out, we had 2 vans waiting. One was to take us to go board the chopper. The other was to take our luggage because they cannot go on the chopper. Throughout my year of working with him, I've always told myself that flying that way is not a luxury for me. I am on duty. And as they were loading the luggages, and this thought started playing in my mind that, okay, you will fly chopper, 1 hour you're there. The next 3.5 hours, the luggages are not going to come. Will I go to bed? No. I still have to sit down and wait for those luggages to come. And I'm like, so why not just go with the luggages and get there and deliver to him and others in the room? Like I said, I always reason in the line of duty. And I walked up to him. I said, sir, I think it's safer and will be secure for me to just ride and bring the luggage to you. He said, brilliant idea. And I said, safe flight. Since 2019, I cannot count 1 or 2 places or flights that is being in that I'm not in it. We are always together. I can recall Madame will always tell anybody, if you need to talk to my husband, look for Shola. They build that trust, they build that confidence in me. And I drove off, and they went to board. 2.5 hours into my own journey, I was a bit sleepy in the car. So at exactly 10:09, mind you, the chopper went down at 10:08. At 10:09, something just pricked me, and I picked up my phone. I'm like, they should have landed, in my own estimation, and I called him first. It wasn't ringing.